Hi everyone, Senior Scientist here. I'm going to do a short video here on a little rant I have, and it won't apply to probably most people, but I see it as kind of a weird, different life here that we have in the US, and maybe you have this elsewhere too, but right now it's midnight, and it's so gorgeous outside, and I didn't get a I walked this morning a little bit before work, and I just like to have some quiet time away from the family and the dogs and just people in general. And it's cooler, obviously, at night. And one of the places I come to is the local airport I have right down the road. And I have some friends, they keep their planes here and stuff, and I love aviation. Anyway, what's weird and getting to the point is that I can't go anywhere without being stopped by the police. And they're doing it, they're doing their job, whatever. That's what's kind of scary though about it is, so I've gotten to know them. They I think almost all of them know me now. And I work a couple odd shifts a couple times a month. So we have our own company, and we just don't have the staffing around to, we kind of trade off an overnight shift. We have clients that are all over the world, and we need to update weather things and graphics and shows and a bunch of different stuff we do. Anyway, so I even get stopped in my own parking lot of my building. It's not my building, but we lease there, and my company. And yeah, so anyway, I've been stopped so many times I can't even tell you. And every time I'm asked for my ID, which I don't know if there's no crime. I think that's a violation of your constitutional rights. So, but it's my local police here where I live. I'm a resident here, and it's a nice suburb. And so I'm not gonna put up a fight on I'm older, whatever. Okay, here's my ID. But then they go run it, and they'll come and start flashlight in my car, and what are you doing out here? What are you doing out here? And I'm like, bud, I'm old enough to be your dad for most of these guys, and do you have any probable cause to be questioning me like this and treating me like I'm a criminal just because I happen to be out? Oh, the sun's down and it's dark. The suburb here, Eden Prairie, they close, and I think this is probably everywhere. They close all the, it's just like, it's such a weird thing. All the parks are technically closed at 10. Meaning you can't be in the parks. So even though I'm at the airport, and this is run by MAC, I think it's Minnesota Airport Commission, this is the viewing area, but I have to park here, and apparently that is owned by the park of, whatever park it is here in Eden Prairie. And so I get stopped. You're not supposed to be here. I'm like, you know what? Really? What are we gonna do? Steal grass? I guess there's a few rocks here. You can pick up a rock maybe. Probably not that one, big boulder. But I mean, there's no probable cause. There's no suspicion. I don't understand why there's a click of a clock, and that determines whether or not you're allowed to be outside. Because that's what it comes down to almost. And I don't like to be around my house too much because my dogs, they know I'm out and they're gonna get rowdy, and my wife is a light sleeper. So I don't do this all the time, just once in a while. And had a busy day today, and we had a meal together, and I want to go and listen to some of my podcasts and kind of enjoy the night, because the humidity dropped. It's really nice. It feels like fall out here almost. So anyway, that's my rant. I don't get it. I think it's ridiculous, and I grew up in an era where who gave a crap? You could like do anything you wanted. You would never get stopped by the police unless you were doing bad stuff, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious. But when you see, you know, a nice BMW sitting here, well, whatever. I mean, even if I'm driving one of my beater cars or something like that, like, what does that even matter? I have the right. I pay their salary. My taxes are through the roof and they keep going up. And I guess why I'm bringing this up is because I see it clamping down, not where instead of protecting your freedoms, it's robbing us of our freedoms. Why? It's arbitrary. Why is the park closed? Why not open the parks for the youth? You know, oh, we get a lot of youth and they're doing drugs or whatever. Who cares? I mean, yeah, don't let them do drugs or whatever, you know, but I'd rather have the youth in the park where there's nothing around rather than like, you know, them having to sneak around in various places or whatever. And it's so ridiculous the parks are closed that we pay for, and some stupid people somehow say, nope, they're closed, and therefore a cop can stop you and treat you like a criminal, probably give you a ticket. You know, I think I'm respectful enough and everything, and they haven't done that, thankfully. I don't even know if they can, because I'm sitting here, I'm actually waiting for a cop to come and stop me. And they'll shine their lights, and gotta go through a whole questioning process, and man, I grew up in a whole totally different USA. Anybody who's like in their 40s and older can attest to that. It is nothing like it is today. Now, I like the diversity. I don't mind any of that stuff. I mean, because when I grew up, it was the diversity was different. There's always diversity in the U.S., but demographics change, and that's fine. Some of it's fine, not all of it, because I think some groups of people are brought in and they're used as pawns. And I care about the people, and I think that they're being used for agendas. So, and I'm not saying one people group or the other, because it's not the people, right? It's how they're brought in, and it's where I live especially. It's really I think it's mistreating the people that are being brought over here, and they don't, you know, the people don't see it. You know, they think they're having it better, and they probably are, but how they're being brought in causes a lot of separation, and instead of integration, which we should always be reaching out to our neighbors and never dividing. And but it seems like everybody, you know, that's why I hate politics and everything. It's like, I will not divide against my neighbor. He's entitled different opinions, and I have different opinions, and that's essentially what they are. So he has his reasons, I have my reasons, and we can share some of those, but I'm never going to divide against my neighbor. He's my neighbor, and I am called to serve. So anyway, that's kind of a tangent, but the point is, I wonder, I mean, man, at what point do they just lock us down completely, or put us in ghettos or whatever? I mean, I feel like that's almost what we are, is already in prisons, you know, almost like a prison. Like, you have to be in your house after dark, and it's like lights out, you know. They're the prison guards or something. That's the best way I can liken it. But why can't I go outside and enjoy the outdoors? What happened to freedom? And it's sad to see it going away. I don't think we can stop it really either. So I just wanted to rant. Not the end of the world. Everything's fine. Nothing has happened. I just see it as, man, I don't know, they're not getting the training or something, or they need to stop this. So I actually called the lieutenant. I said, dude, where can I go? If I don't want to be at my house, where can I drive to and not be harassed? And he said, well, yeah, you have to go to a public parking lot. And I said, okay, where in Eden Prairie is there a public parking lot? I go to the park. I can't go there. I go to, a building, a commercial building that's closed, a big parking lot. I can't go there. They police those too. And they're like, oh, the owners want us to police it. I don't even know if that's true, right? They'll just tell you anything they want. Because they've even stopped me in mine. And why would they do that? I mean, the guy we lease from, he's well aware. He's been to our office many times. He knows that we work 24/7 there. So where can I go? And I asked the lieutenant. He's like, well, public parking lot. And I said, okay, where in Eden Prairie is there a public parking lot? I can go park. He goes, well, the mall. I'm like, the mall? First of all, that's on the other end of town for me, and that's the only parking lot I can go to is the stinking mall? Are you joking? Man, this is just ridiculous. So anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. It's turned out to be a lot longer. And I thought, hey, real quick, I gotta tell you, if you are in the market for a car, I highly recommend checking out the BMW GT. They don't make them anymore. And I get mad. I just moments ago, I was at the gas station, and I mean, this happens all the time. People stare at this car. We have BMWs all over the place here. There's probably more BMWs in this suburb than I've seen anywhere. And we actually picked this up in California because we couldn't find anything here in Minnesota. And instead of having it shipped, we actually just flew out there and drove it back. Had a nice, fun little vacation, my wife and I. And but anyway, this thing is phenomenal. It has so much room. The design and styling is just out of sight. It has a very reliable engine, so if you're ever buying BMW, then you already know it's not about the brand like Toyota. You can just buy a Toyota and things run. When you're buying German cars, sports cars, whatever, it's not about the brand per se. It is for certain driving styles and feels and everything like this. But you really got to protect your investment. So it's about the engine, and you need to, okay, what year is this? What model is this? What engine is in there? And this engine, I love it. And I don't think you can find anybody who's really against it. So BMW finally made an engine starting, I think they had been designing it for a while, but they started including it in their cars, I think in 2017 and 2018. And so this one has the B58, and that's a 6-cylinder. The B48 is the 4-cylinder, and they just took off 2 cylinders. So it's the same engine. Thing's bulletproof if you maintain it, and some of the accessories around there, which are still made out of plastic. But if you do that, this thing, I mean, we don't know how many miles these engines will get because they're still relatively new. And but we're starting to see them, 200,000 miles all over the place, especially if it's maintained. I just don't know what's going to go wrong with this thing. It's rumored that people are getting 1,000 horsepower out of the stock internals of this motor with just doing, certain tunes on other things, like exhaust and, intakes and downpipes and maybe a beefier turbo. I wouldn't push 1,000 out of that. In fact, I don't even want to go too high because, RPMs and all that kind of stuff. Gasoline engines just don't last as long as like diesel because they got to rev more. There's more turning. So anyway, sorry, a little bug. Check it out. It's the 6 Series GT, and this thing is amazing because it has same amount of room in here as a X5, maybe a little bit less. I was looking also at a Audi A7 when we were kind of looking at these things. But this thing is, man, I love it. I like Audi A7, so I don't want to say anything negative about it, but I will say that for me, this car is better. And like, this car is amazing. That's all I gotta say. It's the styling, the handling, the engine. So, all right, anyway, I think that's all I got. All right, we'll talk crypto another time.